Hello, my name is Emma Wave Queen, and this is Drop Dead Serious. Sean Diddy Combs is on day 12 of his federal racketeering trial. What happened today in court might have been some of the most emotional and difficult evidence we've heard so far. We're talking about a former helper who worked for Diddy for almost 10 years, but has chosen to remain anonymous and goes by the name Mia. The court won't say who she is because officials say Mia has been sexually assaulted by Sean Combs more than once. The things Mia said today, under oath, shook the room. The jury didn't just hear about what went on behind the scenes in Sean Combs' life. They felt it. We also heard more from famous stylist Deontay Nash. His honest, unfiltered testimony picked up right where it left off, with some jaw-dropping moments and one-liners that made everyone in the jury laugh. Diddy wore a grey jacket, grey pants, and a clean white Oxford shirt when he walked in. In case you forgot, every night after court, he changes right back into his jail outfit. Those are the clothes his lawyers give him. The next morning, he gets dressed in his prison uniform again and goes to court. He eats jail food and sleeps on a prison mattress. That's where he can change back into the fancy clothes his lawyers brought for him to wear. In court that day, in this case, he gave the gallery another thumbs up as he walked into court and met his lawyers like it was any other day. People he is close to, like his mother Janice, his 3 boys Quincy, Christian, and Justin, his publicist Holly Baird, and his longtime friend Charlie Finney, who was wearing his signature free puff sweater and hat during the event. Davey waved and kissed Janice when she walked in, then mouthed what looked like, "Hi, Mommy. Listen to my show from yesterday. I talked to some mobsters, or guys who were in organized crime in the 1980s, and asked them a lot of questions about Diddy. They said that even though they were bad in the mob, they never washed their wives like this. Listen to the end of this episode to hear my talk with Sammy the Bull Gravano. He is the person who caught John Gotti, also known as Teflon Don, and put him in jail. 19 people were killed by Sammy the Bull, and Rico also caught him. In the 1970s and 1980s, Sammy the Bull had the most violent life in the mob. When I asked him about Diddy and the alleged behavior, I asked him to describe it in terms of how it related to how mobsters behave. What he said was just too crazy. Then I asked him what would happen to Diddy if he went to jail. When the court met today, the defense picked up right where they left off during the cross-examination of Deontay Nash, a famous stylist. Xavier Donaldson, Diddy's lawyer, came out hard during cross-examination and tried to make Nash look less trustworthy. Deontay stayed true to himself the whole time. Deontay did not bat an eye though. It was clear to Donaldson that something important had been missing. Deontay had never told the police that Cassie's face was bleeding during one of the attacks. Deontay also said some other things for the first time yesterday on the stand, but Deontay had a good answer. He told them that he didn't tell them everything they needed to know because he didn't want to be involved in the case. "I didn't trust anyone," he said. "I didn't give the government much. That's their fault. They didn't ask." Deontay brought up Cassie's movie shoot in South Africa before Diddy's lawyer did. "Say this, Mr. Donaldson. I get what you mean. I did set her up with Michael B. Jordan. He's fine. She's fine." The crowd laughed. The jury laughed. And even Diddy's lawyer, Brian Steele, was seen laughing out loud when the subject of Gina, another one of Diddy's girlfriends, came up. Deontay quickly cut it off. The judge said, "Oh no, you're not going to put that one on me." The crowd laughed again. When asked what Deontay thought Cassie thought about Gina, Deontay made it clear that she wasn't that interested in Gina. That is, Cassie didn't stress about it when Puff was with Gina. She would say, "All right, girl, it's time to go out." After that came redirect. The prosecutors took the jury back to the first time Deontay met Diddy. That meeting may have set the tone for everything that happened. Afterward, that night, Cassie's 29th birthday, should have been a party with cake and sparklers to honor her. Deontay said that Diddy got there late, made a scene, and then tried to get Cassie to leave her own party. Cassie didn't want to go though, he said. Deontay said she wanted to stay with her friends, but Diddy had other plans for her. Prosecutors asked Deontay if drugs played a role that night. He replied that both Diddy and Cassie were using, but Diddy seemed to be fully aware and in charge. Then he said something that stopped everyone in the hall. He told the judge that Diddy looked Cassie straight in the eye and said, "Girl, you're going to get some D tonight." After a while, Nash's lawyers could be seen nodding or shaking their heads every time he answered a question that wasn't on the script. Still, it was clear that Deontay had the audience and the jury's attention. In a case of full trauma and evidence that can tear you apart from the inside out, Deontay Nash brought something new. He cleared things up, added color, and made things a little funnier. And boy, oh boy, were they going to need it for what happened next. The government called a witness who went into court using the name Mia instead of her real name, and for safety's sake, since the court doesn't want anyone to know who she is, there are no pictures, identifying information, or sketches of her. There is only one woman testifying about working behind Diddy's empire for almost 10 years. The stand was very quiet, and Mia spoke in a low voice. While she spoke, she cried so hard that she could hardly look up from her lap. There was no way she could have looked at the jury, the crowd, or the suspect, Sean Combs. It's possible she was embarrassed, scared, or both. What we do know is that Mia started working for Diddy in 2009 as a personal assistant. She then rose through the ranks and is now the head of development at Revolt Films. I was shocked by what she told the jury. It was very personal, very graphic, and almost too much to hear, even though the case has had many disturbing times. When the police asked Mia what it was like to work for Diddy, she didn't lie. She said the setting was chaotic, toxic, and exciting. The highs were really high, but the lows were really low, she said. Puff's mood that controlled everything. Mia told the judge that she never planned to work in hip-hop or manage the arrangements for a Hollywood megastar. She said that the chance came up while she was living in New York City. She had just turned 26 and was looking for work with Diddy's team. She finally got a meeting with Diddy himself after a few interviews with company leaders. Mia says that the talk took place in Diddy's apartment. She told the judge that he opened the door while on the phone and waved her in like it was any other day. Mia had worked for well-known companies before, but this one felt different. She was happy and scared at the same time. She told the judge that this was her big break. That dream didn't last long though. Mia told the judge that she quickly learned that 24/7 wasn't just a catchphrase at Combs Enterprises. It was part of her job. She said she had worked in high-pressure jobs before, like for actor Mike Myers. But even those 24/7 jobs had a schedule. Calls at 7 a.m., maybe a 10 a.m. start that goes until 6 p.m. But Diddy did not follow any rules. In Tartwitty's court, Mia said she was told she would be paid $55,000. But when the check started coming in, it was only $50,000. Even though she worked non-stop, the hours were a surprise. But that wasn't all. She said it wasn't just hard work. It was a battle. Mia was told on her first day that she couldn't see Diddy for at least 2 weeks. Why is that? She was told she was on trial, but not in a courtroom, but in the office. It was a professional trial, a probationary time where different assistants were put up against each other. Mia said it was like the reality show I Want to Work for Diddy on VH1, where contestants were very hard pushed. This time, though, it wasn't a TV show, it was her real life. She told the judge that the longest time she had gone without sleep was 5 days. It came to an end on a business trip to Las Vegas. She said that she had been taking Adderall XR to stay awake because she had ADHD, but it wasn't enough to keep her going. She said that her body finally started to shut down. She said she could not hear straight and that everything around her seemed to be underwater. Mia said that's when she started to cry. Before Diddy finally told her she could rest, she had not slept for 5 days, and her body had begun to shut down. She said, to back up what she said, the prosecutors showed a thick binder full of emails from years ago between Mia, Diddy, and people in his inner group. I couldn't see what was in that binder because it was brought in under seal, but the jury could. Prosecutors say what they saw showed what Mia says life was really like behind the scenes. Mia explained everything in one of those emails. She said that she was in charge of all of Diddy's social media accounts, that she was his go-to person in Hollywood, that she kept his calendar, and that she had to always be in view of him. She had to guess what he would want, and most of all, she had to keep his secrets safe at all costs. It was written that her task could change wildly every day, from doing 17,000 different things, like cracking his knuckles, to doing nothing at all. Mia said that it all came down to one thing, his mood. Reading and guessing, Diddy's mood was very important, she said in that email, because his mood set the tone, the energy, and the structure of the day. She also said that there were penalties if you got it wrong. Mia told the judge that there were no limits, not even in the house. She said she couldn't leave without permission, but she thought she could take the night off after Diddy went to bed. In the winter of 2009 or 2010, she sneaked out at 2:09 a.m. to spend a couple of hours with some friends. Mia says that people did not like that choice. She told the judge that soon after she left, security told her that Diddy had sent people on a search to find her. Oh, and privacy? She said there wasn't any. Mia told the judge that she couldn't lock the door to her bedroom. At least that's what she thought the rule was. This is my house. And locked doors were not allowed in his house. It was strange that it didn't seem to be true for the men who lived there. They did have locks, and they were deadbolts. Keep an eye on things like Uncle Paulie, Drock, and Ruben. Yes, they did have deadbolts. You're about to learn why this is such an important thing that Mia told the judges. Mia says that when she joined Diddy's inner group, the job was already being filled by other people. The boss said that 3 of his personal helpers had already quit, leaving only one, Carl McRae. But when Malcolm left, Mia said she had to do everything by herself for a whole year with no help or breaks. Mia said she was the only person who worked for Diddy. She said it was too much, made her feel alone, and never stopped. The woman told the jury that she didn't have time to think about how she felt because she couldn't afford to feel anything. She said that Diddy once called her aside, gave her a pep talk, and told her that he believed in her and that the chaos in would pass. The grind didn't end though. She said that new helpers were hired in the end, but Mia said that their jobs were very different from hers. She told the judges that other assistants had a lot of time off, breaks, and room to breathe. Mia, on the other hand, said she felt crushed because she was carrying Diddy's whole world. Mia said she paid a high price when she messed up. She said in court that Diddy would yell at her, scold her, and make fun of her in public. She said he made her feel useless by telling her she wasn't smart. Prosecutors asked Mia about her job at Revolt Films after they told her how bad it was to work for Diddy. For a brief moment, Mia's story got better. She said that her time at Revolt was overwhelmingly awesome, and that it finally looked like her hard work was paying off, at least on paper. Mia told the jury that her starting pay at Revolt was $70,000 and would go up to $100,000 over time. She also said that she was supposed to get bonuses for every job she brought in. Mia said that those bonuses didn't always show up though. Still, she had a lot of duties to do. She found movies and TV shows that were worth investing in, helped Diddy get executive producer credits, and made her own shows. For her, this was the dream job, the one with the title, the power, and the freedom to be creative. However, Mia's statement later made it very clear that Diddy's success did not come without a cost. Mia was still working out of Diddy's house when she was promoted at Revolt. That changed when she finally moved into a real office in late 2015. Early 2016, she met a girl named Cassie somewhere along the way. Like other witnesses, Mia called Diddy Puff, and she said she always saw Puff and Cassie together. Miss Mia says that she became really close with Cassie. She said they were close like sisters or best friends. But what she saw going on behind the scenes really scared her. She told the jury that Cassie and Diddy's relationship went through terrible highs and lows. She said it was unequal, toxic, and ultimately abusive. Mia quickly clarified that the abuse was directed at Cassie and never at her. For her part, she said that Diddy planned everything about Cassie's work life, from the music releases to the visual content to the studio time. Everything, she said, was based on Diddy's plans. Then, officials showed another email as proof. It was sent on April 21st, 2012, around 4 a.m. It came from Cassie. She had just backed out of a performance because of overages in costs. Cassie apologized to the team, which included Mia, Diddy, and execs at Bad Boy and Interscope, for the drama I have caused. Diddy replied a few minutes later. She said that his message was full of typos and told her to let the BET executive in charge of the event know that she wasn't ready and didn't want to make a fool of herself. Cassie wouldn't have it. She replied that she wasn't prepared, but what she needed was help from the label, which is what she wrote. Mia did more than just work behind the scenes at Revolt. She also helped Cassie build her own business. It was during her testimony that she helped Cassie navigate the world of film and television. But she also said that Diddy was always there, like a shadow in the background. Mia says that he had a lot to do with making the final choices, and the mood changed completely when he showed up to Cassie's shoots. Mia warned the judges that the mood would change and everything would stop. She said Diddy had the final say on how Cassie looked. Mia told the judge that she often sent him pictures of Cassie's clothes, hair, and nails so that he could approve of them. Plus, the power didn't end there. Mia told the jury that Bad Boy, or one of Diddy's companies, owned Cassie's credit cards, homes, and cars. She said that everything was under Diddy's corporate name when he got mad. She also told the jury that Diddy would take it all back all the time because her time with Cassie was always on Diddy's terms. He picked the times they could talk, see each other, and help each other. Mia also said that her job wasn't always just to help Cassie. Sometimes it was to check up on her or keep tabs on her. Mia said it sounded like that was part of the task. Mia told the jury, "I had to do everything he told me to do. We had to be wherever Puff told us we could be." She also said that if he moved without her permission, something bad, like very scary, could happen. She said Diddy's punishments were unpredictable and always terrifying. Mia said Diddy made sure he could reach Cassie when he wanted to. She said that he would call, text, or email Cassie and if she didn't answer, he would try something else. To do that, they would sometimes use staff, sometimes security, and sometimes Mia. He said she often had to pass on his messages, and more than once, if Cassie didn't answer quickly enough, security would. Mia's evidence got a lot worse. Mia said she was sure the first thing she remembered happened in 2009 or 2010. She said she was in Diddy's house when she heard loud thuds coming from upstairs. When she looked up, she saw bags flying over a railing. They broke and fell into the hallway below. Later, she found Cassie hiding outside behind a bush. Mia said Cassie was shaking and crying, and she waved her off, as if to say, "You don't see me, I'm not here." But Mia said she saw violence up close, more than once. Deontay Nash had just told the jury about the night Cassie's head was cut open, which was one of the most upsetting events. Mia told the jury that Diddy came in a rage and yelled, "Have you been drinking?" at Cassie, Deontay, and her as well. Cassie was thrown to the ground and hit by Diddy. According to Mia, Diddy was crazy, aggressive. She said that she and Deontay jumped in to try to stop it. She told them she was afraid for Cassie's life at that moment. The judge heard her and said, "I thought he was going to kill her." Mia saw Diddy hit Cassie on the head with the sharpest, strongest corner of the bed frame, and then Cassie's forehead started gushing blood. Mia said that's when things changed. She told the jury that Diddy went into what she called protector mode right away. She said that Diddy told her to call another assistant named Kayla and then tell the doctor that Cassie had been drunk and hit her head. Mia told the jury that she called Diddy not because she wanted to lie, but because she thought it was the only way to get Cassie help. She made it clear that Diddy told her to do it. Mia said he was filled with anger all night through. Mia told the judge his eyes turned black. There was no getting through. Mia had seen Diddy high before, but not that night. That night, she told the judges that there were no signs that he was high. What scared her even more was that it was pure, unadulterated anger. One story Mia told stood out. It began as a rare break, a moment of defiance. Diddy had told her and Cassie to stay in and not leave the hotel that night, but they went to a party anyway. Not just any party, but one at the home of the famous musician Prince. Mia says that it took place in 2011 or 2012. He told Mia to stay at the hotel with Cassie while he spent the night with his kids at home. It looked easy until a friend asked them to come to Prince's house. With that kind of invite, Mia said she and Cassie argued like kids. Should they stay or should they go? They went in the end, and she said it was fun for a while. She said they were laughing and dancing. Mia told the judge that it was a nice break from everything that was going on. But all of a sudden, things changed. She said Mia knew as soon as Diddy walked into the room, and they looked at each other. She said that she and Cassie tried to get away by running through Prince's house. Mia says that Diddy caught up with Cassie though. Diddy threw Cassie to the ground and started to attack her right there at the party, Mia said. In court, she said that's when Prince's security team stepped in. She said she hid at a different hotel that night instead of going back to the hotel. But the next day, she told the jury that she got a call from Vashta in HR. She told her that Diddy was firing her with no pay and no real reason. Just one word: insubordination. Mia said that HR never brought up the physical attack she said she had just seen her boss do to her. No one said anything about what happened to Cassie at Prince's house. They only said that Mia, the maid, was in a lot of trouble. The stories Mia told today in court were all very vivid, but this one was one of the most troubling. Mia told the jury that she went to Turks and Caicos twice with Diddy and Cassie around 2012. She said that what happened there will always be with her. She told the jury that Cassie woke her up one night by storming into her room and yelling, "You gotta help me. He's going to kill me." Mia wasn't sure if those last two words meant hit me or kill me, but she said it was clear that Cassie was scared. Cassie, who is usually calm, was scared and worried. Mia told the judge that they acted quickly and grabbed any heavy wooden furniture they could find, even the bed, to block the door to the hotel room. Diddy was yelling and banging. On the other side, she said, trying to get in. She said that they finally got out of the hotel through the back and ran to the beach. She says she can still remember the bugs that chased them while they ran. The next thing Mia said was harder to make sense of because it was a blur of fear. She said she couldn't remember the whole thing, but the pictures were so clear in her mind that she could not forget them. She said she and Cassie got away again, but this time they did it by boat. Mia said that Diddy was screaming from the beach behind them as they paddled away from shore on flat paddleboards. It scared her to think about whether she should face Mother Nature or go back to Puff. She remembered that the sky turned dark and that the hotel, which might have been a safe place to be, got farther away. Mia did not call the cops. She told the judge that Diddy often said that people were trying to blackmail him and that calling the cops would have been seen as just that. "I was taught I was supposed to protect him," she shared. After that, the lawyers talked about Cassie's injuries. Mia said in court that she saw Cassie with black eyes, bruising, a broken lip, and that awful gash on her face. And then the judges looked at the pictures. In one picture, Cassie was eating a hot dog at the opening of the movie, The Perfect Match. According to Mia, she took that picture herself. Cassie had bruises on her arms and around one eye that she had tried to hide with makeup, but Mia saw them. There was another picture from the Cannes Film Festival, and Mia said that Cassie had a broken lip in that one. The sound then came on. Mia told the jury that she had once heard a video that Cassie had made in secret. It was of Diddy and Cassie fighting. She said she knew both voices right away. The way Cassie spoke made me feel scared. And Mia said Puff sounded very, very, very angry. But there was more than just yelling. Mia said in court that the tape caught something much more disturbing. The sounds of a physical assault, a thud, a struggle, and the clear sounds of someone getting hurt, she said. Mia said that taking care of Cassie was part of her job, but it wasn't always about red carpets and glam squads. It was sometimes about limiting the damage and hiding the wounds. Mia told the judge that she was often told to bring Cassie things like arnica gel, which she later learned was used to treat bruises. She said that there were times when she took care of Cassie in hotel rooms. Before Cassie got her own place, she said there was a strict rule back then. No one could leave until Cassie's wounds were hidden and healed. Mia gave a simple answer. When the prosecutor asked her directly if she could leave, "Oh no, we were not allowed." Mia said that Diddy and his friends could stay at the hotels for days or weeks, and that she was in charge of everything, getting them to and from the hotels, unpacking their stuff, setting up their rooms, and being on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Mia said that the work never stopped, even when no one was around. In court, she talked about a trip to New York that, in her words, felt different. She had been to Diddy's New York house many times before, but something was different this time. The energy felt bad in a different way than usual. She told the jury, "Usually I was used to when Puff was upset. This was more like he wasn't mad. He was really upset." She used the quote, "If you asked Mia to confirm," she said that Diddy told her that Cassie had been talking to someone else, and she did, that someone else was Kid Cudi. When the prosecutors asked Mia how this event was different from others, she didn't think twice. Usually he was angry and aggressive, but this time it felt ominous. She went on to say something even scarier. In all this time, I had never seen Cassie do something to make him mad. This was the first time, and I was ready for something really bad to happen. Mia said that dark cloud never went away because even being quiet could be dangerous in Diddy's world. After that, Mia told the judges about what she called hotel nights and what other people had called freak-offs. She said that some nights she did see Cassie, but there was one night when something stuck with her. It took place in New York at the London Hotel. Mia said she was delivering something for Diddy when a bright blue-wigged woman answered the door. Mia said she barely opened the door, just enough for her face to show. Mia said she wasn't sure if Cassie was dressed or not. When she asked Cassie if she was okay, Cassie looked like she was struggling. Mia said that Cassie quickly replied, "Yes," and shut the door. Mia said that after those nights, it was often her job to clean the rooms. She said that Diddy would tell her to do something sometimes, and other times it was just normal office things to do. Put an end to the quote. Mia told the jury that the goal was to keep the hotel staff from finding something that could be shown on TMZ. But the mess Mia talked about wasn't like most. She said the rooms were like a nightmare because there was candle wax on the furniture, wet towels all over the place, broken glass, water on the floor, and sometimes blood. Mia told the judge that Diddy told her it was from Cassie's period when she asked about it. Mia told the judge that she had been with Cassie a lot before these hotel nights, and she thought back to one in particular. It was said that they were in Cassie's car when she got a text message. Cassie looked down at her phone and groaned. Puff wants to have a hotel night." Mia said that Cassie didn't just look angry. She seemed upset, nervous, and uncomfortable. When those so-called freak-offs were over, Mia said Cassie had stomach problems and even got sick. Mia said it had a name, Man Down, because Diddy and Cassie would sleep for days and only wake up to eat after those nights. Finally, Mia's story took a very bad turn. She told the judge that she had never done drugs before she started working for Diddy, but that changed when she became part of his world. Mia told the judge that she did drugs while working for Diddy, sometimes with him and sometimes by herself. She said that he gave her the drugs when they were together. It was either the Winter Music Conference or the Warner Music Conference that she remembered the first time. It was at Diddy's house in Miami. The event happened every year, so she wasn't sure of the year. Mia said she took MDMA that night. She said Diddy gave her the pill. In her words, Diddy told her it was the best pure, and that by taking it, she was now a part of what he called the Breakfast Club. Mia took this to mean that she was finally in with the cool kids. She told the judge that she took the drug because she felt safe and protected at that moment. More than anything else, she said, she thought Diddy would finally see her as more than in just an employee. Mia also wrote about a time she was high on drugs and how it made her feel. The event took place at Burning Man on Diddy's tour bus, not at a club or party. The bus was set up for the night, she said. The blackout shades were closed. The dance lights were flashing, and there were 3 plates of powdered drugs in front of them. Mia says that Diddy made it into a game. All of the other people there were supposed to take a hit of either Molly, cocaine, or ketamine, but Mia said she couldn't. Mia told the judge that she was really scared and tried to say no, but Diddy wouldn't let down her guard. It went from being funny to being serious very quickly. Mia said that he got angry with her and told her she was ruining the whole vibe. She also said that she tried to fake it by trying to snort the powder, but Diddy caught her. Mia said he snorted it and tried to blow it back out as soon as she got away. That's when she said, Diddy cut a line of drugs just for her. Mia didn't. just talk about how she used drugs. She also said she saw Diddy using drugs. She told the jury that she saw him take prescription pills, MDMA, and ketamine, mostly at parties, but sometimes in strange places, like the recording studio. She told them that there were times when she felt very badly. She said she thought, this is not the right time to be doing drugs. Like right before a board meeting, or even before going on the Chelsea Handler show. But when the lawyers asked Mia if Diddy ever used drugs at work, she didn't think twice. To me, she said, Puff was always working. She also told the police that he kept his drugs in a Louis Vuitton bag that she called his med bag. Other witnesses have already said it's the same bag. Mia told them she tried not to look, but sometimes she caught a glimpse. She once said that she saw pills that had a smiley face on them, with X's over the eyes. She said that the things in that bag were always close by. When authorities asked Mia to describe what it was like to work for Diddy, she gave an answer that was very open and honest. She said Diddy was close to her and treated her like a friend. He would work with her on projects and count on her. He told her how great her work was, looked out for her, and gave her life advice. But when things went badly, Mia said Diddy treated her like a worthless piece of crap. She said he would put her down, scream at her, curse at her, and go on long, insulting rants about how stupid or useless he thought she was. She talked about how her job always seemed like it was on the edge. He told her he would fire her and throw things at her. But at the same time, he would say that one day she could have any job she wanted in any of his businesses. Mia had one dream that was very important to her, to make movies and TV shows. She told the judges that was what she really wanted, but there were some conditions. She said that when she worked on projects for Revolt TV, Diddy would use the thing she loved the most as an excuse to threaten to take away her honors. She said it was like a steady push-pull. One minute she was praised, and the next she was criticized verbally. She said she stayed for years. Then Mia talked about a night that she will never forget. It took place sometime between 2010 and 2014. Around 3 a.m., she said she was in Diddy's kitchen, where he had people over. The mood was tense. She says he told her to get food at IHOP at one point, but before she left, Mia told the judge she ran to her room to change her tampon, which she said she hadn't had time for all day. According to Mia, that's when everything went off. She said Diddy got irritated and rushed and looked at her and said, "I meant now." Then Mia said, Diddy went on a rant that was loud, cruel, and humiliating. Mia told the jury that Diddy then grabbed a bowl of spaghetti and threw it at her violently, and she could see blood running down her leg. She yelled like a girl. Mia told the judge that Diddy chased her outside, but the spaghetti just missed her. Even worse, she couldn't believe no one spoke up or did anything to stop it. The next day, she said that HR called her again, and this time it was Vashta. Mia said that Vashta told her she was being suspended without pay and without giving any reason. She also didn't say anything about her boss throwing spaghetti at her or what she said happened in the kitchen. Just one sentence. Puff is the boss, and that's what he wanted. Again, Mia said that the violence wasn't dealt with. The only consequence was hers. A violent explosion happened on the set of a music video, which Mia said could have gone in a lot of different ways. She said it took place in Los Angeles, sometime in 2011 or 2012. Diddy was very angry because the Wi-Fi had gone out. Mia said he yelled, "I don't care if you have to call Bill Gates," and wanted her to fix it right away. She also said he threw a computer at her very hard. Mia told the jury that the laptop flew across the room and came very close to hitting her in the head. She also told them that this wasn't just one event. She said she felt like a target other times, with other things. She said it was always the same way she felt. I was terrified, so humiliated, and so confused. What did I do wrong? She asked the jury. Throughout her statement, Mia talked about a pattern: emotionally controlling attacks, verbal attacks, and sometimes physical attacks, and that it wasn't just one case. Mia told the jury that Diddy hurt her more than once, at Cassie's apartment in Turks and Caicos, and even at the offices of Revolt TV. The first time Deontay Nash said he saw Cassie's head split open on the same night that Mia talked about it. She said that she attacked herself when she jumped in to try to stop the fight. It did happen again in Turks and Caicos though. She told them that she fell asleep in a hammock and woke up wet and shocked. Diddy, Mia said, had thrown a big metal ice bucket at her. He yelled and then said that he took her phone forcibly. Mia told the jury that she jumped up in fear because Diddy's inner circle constantly texted each other about his moods, and his teams kept each other up to date, sometimes not in the nicest ways. She tried to stop Diddy because she didn't want him to see anything that made it look like she was talking about him. She even said she jumped on his back and he threw her in the pool in return. However, she said that Revolt was the most shocking event. She was going to the office for the first time. Diddy asked to use my phone. Mia said, I gave it to him but stayed close. She was worried because her last text message to stylist Derek Rowe said Diddy was being a jerk. Mia said Diddy saw the message and ran into the bathroom with her phone. She said she followed him and tried to stop the bathroom door from closing, but Diddy hit her arm with the door so many times that she thought her arm was broken. She said Diddy said something that stuck with her. I wouldn't want someone going through my phone if I had what you had. He said he had sent himself compromising photos from Mia's phone, but Mia said she wasn't worried. She told the jury that her phone did not have any such pictures on it because she thought he was lying to scare her. Mia gave a firm answer when asked if she had ever thought about using what she knew against him. Oh no, never. As if Mia's statement up to this point wasn't already disturbing, the worst was yet to come. In court, she told the judge that Diddy sexually abused her more than once while she was working for him. Mia made it very clear that she never wanted to have a sexual relationship with Diddy. She said that these things never happened voluntarily and happened here and there over a few years. The judge heard Mia say that Cassie was not there during the attacks and that she had not told Cassie about them. She said the first attack took place at Diddy's 40th birthday party at the Plaza Hotel in New York. She had only worked for him for a few months at the time. She told the judge that he gave her 2 shots of vodka and that as soon as she drank them, she felt strange. In her memory, she asked herself, "Wow, did I eat today?" That time, Mia said she was in her 20s and living in New York. She said that 2 vodka shots shouldn't have made her feel that bad, but they did. Mia told the judge that she quickly found herself pushed up against the kitchen wall. She said Diddy leaned in close and told her not to be scared. He also said he saw how good she was doing. Mia said he kissed her and put his hand up under her dress at that point. The next thing she remembered was waking up alone in a chair. At morning, she said she felt like she was frozen. Even though she was dressed, she said she couldn't remember how she got there. They heard her say, "He was my boss." He was the boss or the king, a very powerful person. Mia said that she thought it was just a one-time thing, that Diddy might have been drunk, or that it was an accident. She said that what happened next broke that fantasy. She told the judge about a second attack that happened at Diddy's Los Angeles home, where he lived from 2009 to 2010. Mia said she was sleeping in the room with the bunk beds upstairs. She slept on the bottom bunk, and she said the door wasn't locked because it had to be. She told the jury that Diddy wouldn't let her lock the doors, even though male employees had deadbolts and used them. Mia said Daddy was on top of her when she woke up in the middle of the night. He told her to be quiet, and then he started taking off his pants with one hand. Mia told him he put himself inside of her through tears. She said she froze at that time. Mia told the judge that she was scared, confused, and embarrassed. Even though Mia was having a hard time speaking, the prosecutor lowered her voice and supported her. Mia told the jury it was very quick, but it felt like forever. She couldn't remember how it ended, but she did say for sure he didn't leave. A job unfinished. She said it ended when he got what he wanted. Mia later talked about another attack during her statement. She said this one took place at another home Diddy owned in Los Angeles at the time. She told the judge that she was helping him get ready for a meeting, which was something she did all the time. She talked about how she was sitting on the floor of his closet, getting his clothes ready for a trip, and taking care of last-minute details. I looked up, and he was standing right in front of my face, she said. He held out his penis, grabbed my head, and put it in there. At that point, Mia could no longer keep it together. She started crying on the witness stand. When asked how she felt at that moment, Mia said, like trash, scared, defeated, and like an idiot. As Mia's statement was coming to a close, prosecutors asked her one last awful question. Had Sean Combs sexually assaulted her before? Mia took a moment to say that she wasn't sure she could remember everything, but she did remember how she felt. Horrible, dark things. Not times, but places that still made her stomach turn. She said that one of those places was a private jet. Mia told the jury that she woke up in the middle of the flight to go to the bathroom. As she got closer, she saw Diddy standing nearby in a different area. Mia says he tried to push her inside quickly. She said she told him, no, 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 but it didn't work. That's when she says her memory fades. She says she doesn't remember what happened next, but she does remember how she felt. As the prosecutors were ending their direct questioning, they asked Mia a simple but important question. Had she ever slept with Sean Combs? To which Mia answered, no. She told the jury that there was no pattern, no warning signs, and no consistency to these attacks. She said they happened all over the place and were far enough apart that each time she was sure it would be the last one. She said that she didn't stop to think about what was going on. Instead, she focused on the work. She kept moving and said something that Diddy himself would say, keep it moving. When asked straight out if she ever wanted to do any of the sex acts with Diddy, Mia said, no. When asked if she had ever said the word no out loud, she said, no, other than when I was trying to get out of it. Then the question that everyone in the courtroom knew she would get, why didn't she say no? People in the jury heard Mia say, you could not tell him no. You couldn't say no to making a sandwich. You couldn't say no to anything. She went on to say that saying no to Diddy, even in the smallest situation, could mean the end of everything. She was afraid of being fired, called a threat, and banned from the business. Even worse, she was afraid of being hurt, physically. The lawyers finally asked Mia if Diddy had ever admitted what she said he did to her. Her answer shocked them. Yes, she said, but not with regret. Mia says that Diddy would sometimes tell her that he would tell the staff, and maybe even Cassie, about the attacks. However, Mia said that he made it sound like she was ready to take part. Mia told the jury that she felt stuck. She said, I didn't tell anyone. I was going to die with this thing. No one would ever know. She cried as she spoke. Mia said that going to HR was never really a choice when it came to reporting it. The only time HR showed up was when Diddy wanted to punish someone, not when they were there to protect people. She thought that speaking out would get her in trouble instead of getting her justice. On the stand, she told them she was sure no one would believe her. Then the lawyers asked her directly, "Has anyone else close to Diddy ever tried to speak out?" Mia answered that yes, there had been others. She named someone, Kayla Follner, and said that Kayla had seen Diddy and Cassie fight and told the police about it. Mia says that Kayla told the chief of staff that she thought Puff had hit Cassie. Soon after that call, Kayla was fired. Mia said, but that wasn't the end of it. After that, Mia told the jury that Diddy had pulled her aside and given her a warning, or more correctly, a directive. Mia said Diddy told her that she would have to lie in court if Kayla ever filed a case. Mia told the judge that Diddy told her what to say and that he wanted her to make up a story about Kayla drinking, not paying a bill, throwing a wallet, and hitting Mia that had nothing to do with the real events. The whole point was to make Kayla look bad. Mia said that this was not the first time she had been told to do this. She said that Diddy did the same thing to her after Capricorn Clark was fired. He told her exactly what to say and how to say it to support him instead. About the police, Mia said she never told them about the sexual assaults, not because they didn't happen, but because, in her words, it didn't feel like an option. She told the jury why she felt that way. Mia talked about a traffic stop in Los Angeles, where she was speeding, because Diddy would be very angry if she was late for work. The police didn't believe her when she told them who she worked for. They said she called Diddy, and that as soon as the police heard Diddy's voice, they exclaimed, "Oh my God, it's Puff Daddy." One more time, Mia said she was pulled over, but this time Diddy was in the car. Mia said that as soon as the police recognized him, they apologized. In both cases, Mia said it was clear that the message was that this man was stronger than her and had security, while she did not. When Mia got off the stand today, she didn't look at Diddy. She had just spent several painful hours telling everyone what she says happened behind closed doors. She cried a lot during her story, and she spoke so quietly that it was hard to hear her. She kept her head down and dabbed her eyes every once in a while, never taking her eyes off her hands. Along with her, 3 of her best friends cried as they sat in the front row. Diddy was sitting still across the room with his legs crossed and his hands in his lap. He shook his head as Mia talked about the sex attacks. Later, he picked up a pen, clicked it every once in a while, wrote on the sticky pads, and gave them to his lawyers, while Mia talked about some of the worst things that had happened to her. She said, "I had an amazing conversation with Sammy the Bull Gravano about all of this testimony, about the unbearable violence that Diddy is said to have done to his girlfriends, his assistants, and other people in his circle. It's true that Sammy the Bull was a bad guy who killed 19 people. He put an end to John Gotti's life in the mob and got rid of him himself. He told me a lot of things about Rico and how they relate to Diddy. Then I asked him directly what mobster would think of Diddy's actions. How would they feel about him? What would they do to him? There's a reason why there are so many books, movies, Broadway shows, and plays about the mob. It's because what happened is so interesting. Have you seen that what you're hearing about Diddy's case so far fits the definition of racketeering? I ask, because you've been through it all and been locked up under the RICO law. Some of it, the law against crime, is very hard to understand. I was caught a few times for RICO crimes, and I testified a few times in cases where RICO law was used. For example, it's easy to see why it would work against the mob, a cartel, or another large criminal group. In this type of RICO, the organization is Diddy's business, which he used as an illegal group. Some people will have trouble understanding it, though, because it was hard to follow. Even lawyers had trouble with it, and I'm still having trouble with it. Without the RICO case, I think they have a strong case. Really, what this guy did is gross. There isn't a man or a woman living who won't hate this guy. Women especially. Whatever he did was disgusting and goes beyond being illegal. It's something I don't even know. From my point of view, he made everyone look bad. He brought shame on the black race by being black. There are a lot of black people I know who hate him for it because it made them look bad. It looks like people all over the world are following it. Just think about what everyone would say if he wasn't found guilty, got out of jail quickly, or did a short amount of time. This country is awful. That's a lot of things. Please compare them to something else. Guys in the mob did some really awful things. There was a reason for the horrible, aggressive, and painful killings. People were supposed to stay in line because they were scary. Yes, compare that to what you've heard these young women and men who worked for him say on the witness stand, and while they were giving sworn statements. Think about the guys in the mob and the things that are being said about Diddy. We would be killed for that in the mob. We'd never touch girls, women, kids, or other people like that. In that case, that goes against our rules and beliefs. That kind of thing would never get away with us. There was a guy named Roy DeMeo and Gaspipe who almost turned into serial killers and killed people for no reason. They were caught and killed. He would have been killed if he was in the gang, and we knew what he was up to. There won't be a trial. That's interesting. What if he is found guilty? We're on trial for 9 weeks, which is a long time. We've only been in court for 2 weeks, and are still only hearing the prosecution's case. Right now, it looks bad for Diddy. Based on what we know about him and how he treated women, what would his life be like in federal prison? If he is found guilty, he'll be dealt with in simple language. That's what they're going to do to him. They don't like having people in jail who hurt children. This is a lot like that. We're all men, and we all have wives, daughters, and grandkids. You're going to feel sick when you hear this. That's how I think most women and guys will feel too. Swingers. It's one thing to have these sex parties and do what you want, but he went way beyond that. There were some women who didn't go along with it, but most of them did. He did drugs and other bad things to them. When they woke up, they were out. They have no idea who did what. It's something I've never seen or heard before. He's worth $1 billion, you know. He will lose a lot of money on his case, but $1 billion is a lot more. Some people say that he can get anything he needs in jail for money. It will help him make friends, keep him safe, and gain power. Does the money make him less important than the other things you said? Based on the crimes we've heard about in this trial, do you think he will be put at the bottom of the list? Yes. It's true that prisons talk about monies. He could buy some safety, but they'll still use him. He will be used. No one will like him. Some guys in prison are poor, so they'll take care of him a little, and maybe even guard him to make money. He will have a hard time getting money into jail. It doesn't matter how much money he has. It has to come in through the jail system, and they will only let a certain amount of funding come in. They won't ask for a lot of money, and there are warnings. These things happen in jail, and people have eyes on them. He won't be able to just buy everyone in the joint then. They'll notice and stop it. They are going to stop it. He'll need some money, but not a lot of it. And individuals will dislike him no matter how much money he seems to have. Again, I said it wouldn't be easy. They'll keep a close eye on him. Again, he's not guilty until proven so, and the hearing has only been going on for 2 weeks. You know what? I've been dying to ask you one more question for years. I remember how you lived. I remember this was your world, but you haven't been there in a long time. Do you? 19 killings? I'm having trouble remembering. But did you kill 19 people? Oh, no. I didn't kill 19 people. I was involved in killing 19 people. I planned things sometimes, shot things other times, and was just... I know that hits are different because you play in a lot of different places. That means I didn't kill 19 people. It sounds like I killed all of them. I never got up one morning and planned to kill someone. Like a soldier, I was usually told what to do. Also, we never killed a woman or a child. And I never killed a guy who wasn't guilty. The oath was taken by someone in the mob. You either live by the oath or die by the oath. You break the rules, and now you're dead. Now, if you don't don't feel bad. I'm sorry, I don't feel bad. That's not the case. Those are the rules you follow. There were rules when I was in the service too. I was taught to kill the enemy, and I don't feel bad about it. There is a war going on. It's the same thing. If you don't want rules, you can join the mafia. There are tough guys in both the black and Italian mafias. How can you keep them in line if there are no rules and folks die if they break them? They get away from you. The jury looked on and took notes, but some just watched. They paid attention and thought about every word. What comes next could be just as dangerous. The defense hasn't even called a single witness yet. The government is still making their case. It feels like this courtroom is about to boil over though. Also, just to be honest, Diddy is suing me and a lot of other people because we wrote about cases that are still being worked out. But as we await the next witnesses on day 13, I will be right here every step of the way with a full daily recap of this case against Diddy. Thanks for watching. For the record, my name is Ashleigh Banfield, and the truth is not just serious. It's dead serious.